Hello and welcome to Sew with Christine. In today's video, I'll be teaching you how to cut this hoodie top and the skirt. So kindly subscribe, like and share this video. The fabric that I'll be working with for this tutorial is a stretchy one. So I won't be using the actual measurements for this dress. I would have to deduct some value from my actual measurements because I want it to cling perfectly well to the body. From here, I'm going to mark 5 inches for my shoulder width. I'm going to explain how I got this now. The original bust measurement that I'm using for this tutorial is 36, and I would minus 8 from 36 because of how stretchy my fabric is. Then my result is 28. So to get the new shoulder measurements, you find out the difference between your original bust circumference to your original shoulder measurements. If my original shoulder measurement is 7, then what will the new one be? What I will do is I'm going to divide my original bust circumference, which is 36 divided by 4, that gives 9. Then I'm going to minus that from my shoulder measurement, the original one, which is 14 divided by 2, that's 7. After dividing that, I'm going to minus 7 from 9, and that's going to give 2 inches. So the difference between my shoulder and my bust measurement when I want to draft this is 2 inches. So I'm just going to use the same method that I used for my original for the new one. That is, the new bust circumference is 28 inches. I'm going to divide that by 4, that is 7. And since I have 2 inches difference for my original measurement, I'm going to minus that 2 inches from my new bust measurement, which is 7. So that is 7 minus 2, that gives 5. So I've marked the 5 inches on my fabric. From there, I would go down by 0.5 inch. From 0.5 inch, I would go down to 7 inches. That's for my armhole length. Before drafting, I would advise you to find out the area of your fabric that stretches out more. That should be where you use for your circumference. Also, knowing the elasticity percentage of your fabric is very important. At least 25% elasticity should be a good one. Mine has a very good percentage. That's why I was able to minus 8 inches from my original measurement. So if you want me to explain how to measure the elasticity percentage of a fabric, please let me know in the comments. I've just divided my armhole depth by 2. So I will go in by 0.5 inch and also go in by 0.75. I'm working on both the front and back piece simultaneously. So I'm going to use a different marking so you can see it clearly. 0.5 inch and 0.75 on the midpoint of my armhole depth. After marking that, I'm going to connect to my shoulder. But before connecting, I'll come down by 1 inch. The 1 inch I'm coming down by is for the front part. The 0.5 is for the back region. Hope you understand. I'm also going to extend my shoulder measurement by 0.5. So I've increased it from 5 inches to 5.5 inches. Hope it's clear. Also, my bust circumference is 28 inches. I'll divide that by 7, and I'm going to mark that down and add 0.5 inches to it for my seam allowance. From here, I'm just going to connect the front and the back separately. One curve will touch the 0.5 inch at the midpoint, then another curve is going to touch 0.75 at the midpoint. If you know how to draft your basic bodice block, this shouldn't be a problem for you. I'm just doing them together, that's all. I'm supposed to use 4 by 4 inches for my neck measurement, but I'm just going to go down by 4 inches. That's for the depth. Then for the width, I'll go by 3 inches, so that by the time I'm attaching this to the hoodie, I will stretch it out to arrive at 4 inches. Hope you understand. After connecting the points, I'll go to my armhole where I have the 1 inch and the 0.5 inch, then I will connect those two lines to my neck region. Remember, those two lines represent the front and the back. I'll be taking the length of this top. The length is 18 inches and the other part is for my hem allowance. Next, I'll go to the waistline and mark my waist circumference there. I will divide the waist circumference. Just follow the method that I used for getting my bust circumference. That's a new measurement. That's what I use for the waist. So I got 4.25. I'll mark that down and then add my 0.5 inch for my seam allowance. After marking that, I will connect the points to meet with my bust circumference. I've only drafted the front neckline. Now I'm going to draft the back one. The depth is 1 inch. Then I will connect it to meet with the front neckline, which is 3 inches wide. After drafting the back neckline, I would proceed to cutting this off. Now mind you, the first part I'm going to cut off is the back area. Okay, so if you know you're going to make a mistake when cutting this, I will advise you to cut them separate. Separate the front part from the back and then cut. After cutting the back part, I'll go ahead and cut the front part. So that's the neckline. Then I'm going to trim off the armhole area, then the shoulder area as well. Next, I'll be showing you how to draft the skirt pattern. This is what I'll be using for the skirts. I've gone ahead to fold this into 4. Okay, I divided the back piece into 2. If you're making yours, it's not really necessary. And I have 0.5 that I'll use to join that together. At the waistline, I'm going to take down my lower waist measurement, since I'll be including a band to this waist, so the band will have the upper waist measurements. I've marked that down. I've also added a 0.5 inch to it. Then from there I came down by 7 inches as my hip line. Then I marked my hip circumference, which is 7.75. Then I added the 0.5 inch to it. The length of this skirt is 16 inches. Then I'm going to use 1 inch for my hem allowance. So I'll go down to my upper knee line and divide it by 4, then mark my results out. After marking down my results, I'm going to connect all the points together. Thereafter, I would just go ahead and cut this off. I will go to the center line and notch my midpoint. After notching, I will bring in my band. The length of this band is 18 inches plus 1 inch for the seam. That's 19 inches. The width is 4.5 inches. I'll fold this band into 2. So by the time it is folded into 2, I would have 2.25 inches. Then I'll be using up at least 0.25 for my seam, and what I'll be left with is 2 inches. That's for the band width. You can see the band circumference is smaller to the skirt waist circumference. By the time I'm sewing, I will stretch out the band to meet up with the waist of the skirt. The reason this is like this is because the lower waist measurement is bigger than the upper waist measurement. And since this fabric has elastic, I will be able to stretch it out to meet with the waist measurement of the skirt. Next is how to make the hood. I'm going to mark out the depth of my neckline onto this hood, which is 4 inches. Then I'm just going to make it 4.5 so that I will have 0.5 inch at the base there. So after marking it out, I will just go ahead and connect the points together. Then at the center, I'm going to mark 0.5 upward. This is also for my seam allowance, and this is 0.5 I'm marking. I'm going to mark this through the length of this hood. I'm going to go up by 14 inches from the area I marked 4.5. I'm going to mark 14 inches. To get this measurement, measure from the midpoint of your head to the base of your neck. I'm going to connect the points together to get a straight line. Then from these 14 inches, I'm going to extend my length by 4 inches. The reason I'm extending this by 4 inches is because I want this hood to have a gather like effect. But if you don't want yours to have such effects, then you can omit this. After marking the 4 inches, I'm going to add 0.5 inch for my seam allowance. Now, at the center fold there, I'm going to mark 4 inches away from my seam allowance. I'm going to mark 4 inches for the neck width and 4 inches for the neck depth. Remember I told you that the original measurement is 4 inches by 4. And I'm just going to connect this with a curve. So I'm just trying to outline the 0.5 inch that I added to the 4 inch for my neck depth. After outlining this, I will mark 4 inches for the back neck width. I'm going to mark that out, and from there I will go down by 1 inch. That's for the neck depth. So together everything should be 8 inches. That is the width of the front plus the width of the back. That is 8 inches. Remember when I took the measurements on my main top, I took 3 inches for the neck width. That's because when I'm sewing this onto my dress, I'm going to stretch out the top a little to fit the hoodie. The width of this hood is not 8 inches. The width of this hood is 8.5 inches. How to get this measurement is this. So since the width of the hood is 8.5, but the neck area is 8 inches, then you're going to curve the remaining half inch into the neck area. That is, the top part of this hood will be 8.5, but you still maintain the 8 inches at the neck area. From the top area here, you are going to draw a curved line to connect down to the neck region. So I'm going to take the measurements of this hood to see how wide it is. I have 8.5 aside my seam allowance. Now that I'm done marking, I will go ahead and cut this off. Afterwards, I will open up the center fold so that I have a 2 separate piece of this cloth. You can see what it looks like. Next, I will quickly place the front and the back piece onto this hood, so you see what I mean when I said I was going to stretch the top so that it balances with the hood. So I've just placed the back piece. I'm going to bring in the front one and place it over this hood so you see it. Next, I'm going to cut a piece of cloth that is about 2.75 inches wide, and I will use the length of my hood to determine the length of this piece of cloth. So you are going to measure from the top of your hood to the bottom, and whatever you get you multiply by 2. So that is what I've just done. I'll be using this to sew onto my hood. Next is to take all this that I have cut out to the sewing machine and join them together. So if you're yet to subscribe, do not forget to hit the subscribe button, to like and share this video. Thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next one.